Namaste everyone and welcome to Abhyuday online classes. As we have already discussed chapter number first of geography and half of the chapter is done from class 10th. So we are moving to second part of our chapter and that is consisting of land utilization. But before starting second portion, I just want to recall that what we have studied. Okay, so we have studied about resources, okay, and definition of resources, development of resources, and why resources are important in our life, and as well as we have studied about the distribution of resources in this chart. I hope that you have already gone through this, and after that we studied about resource planning in India and conservation of resources. Now after this, let us move on to next portion, that is land utilization. So let us begin the second part of our geography chapter number first, but I just want to highlight one statement before we are moving to land utilization, and this statement is there is enough for everybody's need and not for anybody's greed. I hope that you understood this sentence, but I just want to explain or elaborate this sentence so that you should know the importance of our resources also. Okay, so this statement is given by Mahatma Gandhi. And what is the philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi? Before this is he said this statement, he told that if we are using the resources in a limited way and we are trying to conserve those resources, then the resources will be sufficient for us. Okay, but when we are using the resources and we are fulfilling our greed through resources, then it will not be enough for us. So dear students, this statement may be a part of your board examination, so you should go through this statement, and this statement is given by Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, so about resources, this is an important statement. Now move to land utilization. So first let us discuss about distribution of land, or how land is utilized in different forms. So these are the terrains of the land, and what are those? Some are in the form of plains, some are in the form of mountains, and some are in the form of plateaus. About 27% of land is utilized as is in the form of plateaus, 43% of the land is in the form of plains, and about 30% of the land is in the form of mountains. That means we are having sufficient amount of plain area, that is 43%. Okay, so we can utilize this land. But when we are talking about land resources, the whole land or whole 30%, 43% what we have discussed here, it is 43%. So it is not completely utilizing for our benefits. Some are there as a forest land, some are barren or wasteland. So now let us move and discuss about these, how these are distributed. Okay, so first is forest land. Okay, where the forest areas are there, those land is known as forest land. And second is land not available for cultivation. When we talk about forest land, so natural vegetation is there, almost self-grown trees are there. So we don't have to cut those trees for the cultivation purpose. From a very long back time, what we are doing, we are cutting down trees and we are converting those land into cultivation land. But now as we have to conserve our nature, we don't have to cut our forest. So some of the land is in the form of forest, some of the land is in the form of land not available for cultivation. Next is barren and wasteland. What type of land is barren or wasteland? The land which is not utilized for cultivation purpose or for construction purpose also. Fallow land means which is kept unused. Okay, so barren and wasteland. So next one is land put to non-agricultural uses. Suppose we are constructing buildings. अगर हम buildings construct कर रहे हैं, roads and factories are there, so in that way that land is not utilized for agriculture purpose. So in that way those lands should not be used, means they are not giving us agricultural product. Next, other uncultivated lands are permanent pasture and grazing land. As we already know that animal resources or livestock are very important for us. They are giving us so many things which are needed for our survival also. So that is why we have to take care that pasture land or grazing land should be there for them. So some of the land is used for pasture as well as grazing land, and they are permanent. So we don't have to utilize those land because they will destroy the pasture and grazing land for animals. Okay. Next, land under miscellaneous trees, crop, groves not included in net zone area. And this land that is miscellaneous means it is not used or it is not giving us any cultivation or any agricultural product. Next is cultivable wasteland left uncultivated for more than 5 agricultural years. Suppose if a person is there, he is involved in agricultural practice, but because of certain reasons he left agricultural practice, and after practicing for 5 years he left that land, and that land is got uncultivated for long years. So that is cultivable wasteland. And next, that is fallow land means current fallow land means left without cultivation for 1 or less than 1 agricultural year. एक साल उसमें कल्टीवेशन किया, आपने एग्रीकल्चर प्रैक्टिस की, खेती की, उसके बाद उसको ऐसे ही छोड़ दिया. ओके. अदर देन करंट फैलो लेफ्ट अनकल्टिवेटेड फॉर पास्ट 1 to 5 एग्रीकल्चरल ईयर्स. सो फैलो लैंड्स में कौन कौन सी टाइप की लैंड आएगी? जो एक साल एग्रीकल्चर करने के बाद में उसको छोड़ दिया गया हो, और सम में भी इंक्लूडेड agricultural practice should be there for 1 to 5 years only. Okay. Now let us move on to net zone area. But before coming to know about net zone area, let us discuss that what do you mean by net zone area. Actually, area sown more than once in an agricultural year plus net zone area is known as gross cropped area. But before going through this statement, we have to know about what do you mean by net zone area. Net zone area means the total amount of land which is completely utilized and continuously utilized for the cultivation purpose. Okay. And the product which is we are getting out of it, that is helping in the economic growth of the country. So that is why agriculture, India is an agricultural country, and most of the economy of the country depends on agricultural practices also. That is why net zone area, it is playing an important role in the economic growth of the country. Okay. Now let us discuss the land use pattern in India. How the land is used. So according to the report which is framed by the different authorities, the different areas are utilized as this area. Means this one is forest land, this one is barren land, area under non-agricultural use, permanent pastures. So what we have discussed earlier, all these things are representing in the form of these pie chart. Okay. And this is also there in your books also. So you have to go through this in your book. Okay. So we have already discussed. Now let us move about the distribution of land in India. So total geographical area of India is 3.28 million square kilometer. Means total India का जो geographical area है, total कितना है? And apart from that, some land is of mountains, some are plains and some are plateaus. So this is the total land area, means 3.28 million square kilometer. Now land use data, however, is available only for 93 of the total area, because the land use reporting for most of the northeast state except Assam have not been done fully. जो नॉर्थ ईस्ट स्टेट है, जो आसाम के पास का एरिया है, that survey is not done right now. So that is why we are knowing about only 93% that this land is utilized in what way. Okay. Some other areas of Jammu and Kashmir, it is occupied by Pakistan, some are occupied by China, so that also have not been surveyed. Next is the land under permanent pasture has also been decreased. Slowly what happened? What people are doing? Just for construction purpose, building roads, building other factories, industries. What people are doing? They are converting grazing land into other purposes. So that's why the permanent pasture also been decreased nowadays. Fallow land, the left without cultivation for one or less than one agricultural year. So in this way, here is the description of all the types of land and how it is utilized. Now next, less than sown area in Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Manipur and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. These lands are also used, and these lands are also not utilized in agricultural practices. Now let us discuss about the National Forest Policy. National Forest Policy, it is a policy framed by the Government of India, and it is framed in the year 1952. Okay, and according to this policy, one should not cut the forest areas for the selfish motive. So in this way, we have to follow the National Forest Policy, and if we are destroying or we are not following this National Forest Policy, we should be punished. Okay, then come to next point. Wasteland includes rocky, arid and desert area. When we talk about desert area, so desert area is not utilized for many purposes. So we are not able to cultivate any vegetation over there. We are not able to construct, we are not able to involve in constructional activity over there. So that is why desert area is also not utilized properly. Okay, and continuous use of land over a long period of time without taking proper appropriate measures to conserve and manage it. Okay, what we are doing? We are using our land continuously, and what we are giving back to it, what we are returning it? Plastic, so many pollutants we are returning. So that is why we are degrading the soil quality of land. So our next topic is land degradation and conservation measures. Okay, so let us discuss about this, but before that, go through these points. At present, there are about 130 million hectares of degraded land in India. This much amount or this much number is there. How much? 130 million hectares. This much land is degraded. So what we have to do? And why this happens? Just because we are involving in pollution activities. Okay, some human activities such as deforestation. What are those activities? Deforestation, overgrazing, mining, quarrying. These are contributing to land degradation. And as soon as the population got increased, land degradation occurs. Okay, then next, in states like Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Orissa, deforestation took place because of mining. Because this land area, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh and Orissa, this consists of so many minerals. So what we people are doing? We are mining. We are involved in mining activities, and indirectly what we are doing? We are allowing our land to degrade. Actually what happened? When mining took place, so what we are doing? We are extracting minerals from that, from buried deep inside the earth. And what happened? When at that surface land, when we are planting any trees, so the trees will not rooted properly, it will not grow, the roots will not nurture. So in that way, vegetation will not be possible in such a land. Okay, now let's move to, in states like Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra, overgrazing is one of the main reason for land degradation. यहाँ पे क्या है? Overgrazing है. Animals are there with the people. So what they are doing? They are allowing the animals to graze on a particular land, and because of that, overgrazing make the soil degrade, and it is reducing its quality. So this also happened in the states of Punjab, Haryana, Western Uttar Pradesh. Over irrigation is responsible for land degradation. Over irrigation means we are pumping the tube wells and we are involved in boring activities. So what happened? These reduces the quality of land. The moisture of the soil got lessen, and in this way the soil got degraded. And now how we have to conserve our soil or our land? When we are planting, afforestation should be there, less use of chemicals should be there, less use of fertilizers should be there. So in this way we can save our land, and land degradation should not be there. So this is all about the second part of our geography, chapter number 1st of class 10th. I hope that you understood this chapter, and thank you to everyone.